Okay, so get ready because today we're diving deep, really deep, into some wild theories. The human-alien hybrid kind.
Sounds intriguing.
Right. We're talking about those ideas that make you go, wait, really? And some that are straight out of science fiction. The best part is we're not just randomly jumping in. No, we have a listener-submitted tier list as our guide.
Oh, a tier list. So we're ranking these theories.
You got it. From the ones that might have a tiny bit of scientific backing, those that make you think twice, to the ones that are just pure whoa. And we're starting right at the beginning with the C tier. Those theories that, even though they're pushing the limits, they still have this strange connection to actual science.
Yeah, I like it. Starting with a bit of grounded speculation.
Exactly. And you know what the first one is? The possibility that life on Earth. Well, what if it didn't actually start here?
Ah, you're talking about panspermia.
You know it.
Yeah, the idea that instead of life starting on Earth, it was kind of delivered here, like an intergalactic package.
Like an intergalactic package.
By meteors or comets carrying these little microscopic organisms. It's like those little alien microbes hitching a ride across the galaxy, crash landing on Earth billions of years ago, and boom, life begins.
That does sound pretty wild when you put it like that, but there's some actual science behind it, right? I mean, we've found life in some pretty extreme places on Earth.
Exactly. Think extremophiles, those organisms that thrive in conditions that would be deadly to, well, pretty much everything else.
Oh, like those microscopic water bears.
Yes, the tardigrades. They can survive in the vacuum of space, handle extreme temperatures, and even laugh in the face of radiation. So if they can handle that, who's to say some other tough microbes couldn't have hitched a ride on a space rock and started the party on Earth?
It really makes you wonder what else is out there.
Right.
But okay, let's move on to another theory in the C tier. This one's a little different. It still talks about advanced beings influencing our past. But these beings, well, they might not be from another planet.
Are you saying they could be from Earth?
What if, and just hear me out, what if these aliens were actually super advanced ancient humans?
Ah, you're talking about the ancient genetic engineering hypothesis.
Yeah.
The idea that early humans were way more advanced than we give them credit for. Like, imagine them having the ability to manipulate DNA to give evolution a little nudge in the right direction.
So we're talking about a civilization way back when, with technology that could rival or even be more advanced than ours. It's mind-blowing.
It is. Think about it. We've made huge leaps in genetic engineering just in the past few decades, right? We have CRISPR, which is like a super precise gene editing tool. So if we can do this now, imagine what an ancient civilization could have accomplished.
It's like finding a smartphone buried in the ruins of ancient Rome.
Exactly.
Makes you question everything you thought you knew. Okay, but for now, let's step away from the ancient world and jump into our B tier. We're going to encounter the mysterious missing link in human evolution and those intriguing and sometimes creepy stories of alien abductions. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so the missing link. It's like trying to put together a puzzle, but with some pieces missing. We have a general idea of how we evolved from primates, but there are these gaps in the fossil record.
Exactly. It's like the story isn't quite complete.
Right, and it's those gaps, those question marks in our history that have fueled so many theories. And that's where aliens come in, at least for some.
Yeah.
They say that extraterrestrial beings might have had a hand in those unexplained jumps in our evolution.
Like they were giving evolution a little push in a certain direction.
It's definitely a thought-provoking idea, that's for sure.
Definitely.
And, when we talk about potential alien encounters, we can't ignore the big one. Alien abduction.
Ah, yes. The classic alien encounter story.
Right. It's one of those topics that people are either completely fascinated by or totally skeptical of. I have to admit, some of those stories, they make the hair on the back of my neck stand up, even if I'm not totally convinced. What about you? Have you ever heard any abduction stories that you found particularly interesting, even if it was just the way the story was told, the details?
Well, I have to say, I approach all those stories with, a healthy amount of skepticism. But yeah, there are definitely some cases where the same themes and details pop up again and again. And it does make you stop and think,
It's true. Like there's this whole universal script for alien abductions. The way people describe the beings, the strange medical exams, it's like, is this a shared human experience or what?
But okay, let's shift gears a bit and move from potential abductions into our A tier. This is where things get really out there. We're talking less about physical evidence and more about, a spiritual connection. Yeah, I'm talking about starseeds. Have you heard about this?
Oh yeah, the starseeds. It's the idea that some people right here among us have souls or consciousnesses from other star systems. They're not alien hybrids in the DNA sense, but more like spiritual beings here on a mission to help humanity evolve. It's a concept that really speaks to people who feel this deep connection with the cosmos, like they have a bigger purpose, right? Like they're cosmic messengers. I think what I find so interesting about this starseed idea is that it speaks to that feeling of like not quite belonging. That feeling a lot of people have at some point, right? And it gives you a whole different way of looking at our place in the universe.
It really does. Instead of focusing on where we came from physically, it's all about this shared consciousness, being connected to something much bigger than ourselves. And that actually leads us perfectly to the last stop in our A tier, a theory that dives right into conspiracy theory, territory hybrid, human-alien leaders.
Okay, this one always gets me. I mean, the idea that some of the most powerful people in the world, politicians, CEOs, maybe even celebrities, are secretly alien hybrids, pulling the strings from the shadows. It's pretty wild.
It definitely is. And it's a concept that's been around forever. I think it comes down to that distrust of authority, that fear of the unknown. Plus, a little sci-fi influence never hurts.
It's like a spy thriller, but with aliens. And I have to say, sometimes when you look at what's happening in the world, it's almost tempting to believe those what-if scenarios.
The human mind loves to find patterns, to find explanations, even when things don't make sense. And when we don't have answers, well, our imaginations tend to run wild.
True. It reminds us that sometimes the line between what we believe and what we doubt isn't so clear, right? What we accept as truth. Well, it's influenced by our own experiences, what we want to believe, and the stories we tell ourselves. But before we go any further into some even more mind-blowing ideas, I think it's a good time to pause and reflect on what we've talked about so far, don't you think? It's been quite a ride, right? From panspermia with its like scientific grounding to the more, spiritual side of starseeds. But buckle up, because we haven't even scratched the surface. We're about to enter a whole new dimension of speculation, theories that make even me go, wait, seriously.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? We're going beyond the edge of the map here.
Right. So deep breaths, everyone, because we're jumping headfirst into the S tier and beyond. This is where things get really wild. Like, alien abductions look like a walk in the park compared to this stuff. Reptilian overlords, aliens hiding in plain sight, secret underground hybrid breeding programs. It's the stuff legends are made of.
Even though these theories are often, light on actual proof, they still tap into something deep within us, that fear of the unknown, the what if they're not what they seem kind of thing. It's been with us for centuries.
It's true. Like, take the reptilian theory, the idea that world leaders are shape-shifting reptilian humanoids. I mean, come on, it sounds like a B-movie plot, but I get it. There's something strangely fascinating about it. What do you think it is about that idea that grabs people?
It's hard to say for sure, but that fear of being controlled, right? By something we don't understand, something that might not have our best intentions in mind. It's like reptiles, they're cold-blooded, they're predators, we associate them with danger, something hiding beneath the surface. So imagine these creatures secretly running the show. It just taps into that primal unease.
It's like a horror movie where you don't know who the villain really is. And while we're talking about hidden agendas, what about those secret underground hybrid breeding programs? Now, that's a scary thought.
Right. The idea of these hidden labs, humans and aliens being spliced together, it really makes you think about those boundaries of science. Where do we draw the line between ethics and just the pursuit of knowledge, no matter the cost?
It's a reminder that power and control can take some pretty messed up forms. But even though we're digging into these wild theories, I think it's important to remember, just because something sounds crazy, impossible even, doesn't mean we should just ignore it, right? We should at least consider it.
Absolutely. Curiosity is key. Being open to even the most out there ideas, that's how we learn and grow. Who knows, maybe somewhere in these crazy theories, there's a piece of the puzzle, something that helps us understand ourselves and this crazy universe a little better.
Well said. And you know what? I think that's the perfect place to wrap things up. We've gone from those scientifically possible ideas to the edge of imagination and beyond. We've questioned, we've thought, we've maybe even laughed a little. And I hope we've come away with a little more wonder about the universe and all its mysteries.
That's what it's all about, right? Exploring, questioning, never losing that sense of wonder.
You got it. A huge thank you to you for joining me on this incredible deep dive. And to all our amazing listeners out there, thank you for sending in these amazing theories. And remember, the universe is vast, it's full of surprises, and who knows, it might be even stranger than we can imagine. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars and never stop asking those big questions.